The following is a live presentation from Imagisport, where sports memories are created with a roll of the dice. And welcome to a special matinee edition of Buffalo Bees Baseball here today on Imagisport. Derek Jones here. Thank you so much, whether you're watching here live or whether you catch this later on demand. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this game. So today, the Bees will be hosting the Milwaukee Barrelmen to start off their June schedule. It is actually a battle between the two previous champions in the Baseball America Co-op League. Buffalo won the inaugural championship in 2022, and the Barrelmen are your defending league champions, cruising to a first place finish last year and winning throughout the playoffs as well to capture that title. However, this season, the Barrelmen are not off to a great start. They come into this game with a 7-9 record, 8th place in the league, 6 games behind the league leaders, the San Antonio Six Guns. Meanwhile, the Bees put together a pretty solid month of May, just like in April. They finished 5-3 in May, so 10-6 overall, 4th place. 3 games behind San Antonio. So as far as game day rolls go that I rolled ahead of time, the Barrelmen are going to be semi-harmony with game 1 of this series. And as far as the rolls went, the Barrelmen have 2 hot batters today due to further notice from game number 10. And in this game, they also got a sunny roll where they will have no cold batters. So that is going to replace the till further notice that they previously had, which I forget at the moment what it was. But right now their TFNs are 2 hot batters, which for this game is going to be Johnny Fortune and Trey Tropiano, and then no cold batters for the Barrelmen. Meanwhile, over on the Buffalo side, we are still dealing with that dang dissonant till further notice. The chip in their shoulder must be working, though, for the Bees since they are over 500. But thankfully, I rolled a 5 on the front office Stormy chart, so no issues for the Bees heading into today. Big welcome to those in the chat. Richard Berner, the manager of the Barrelmen, is joining us live. Thank you, Richard, for coming on board. Feel free to put any managerial decisions you might want to make in the chat. And our stat keeper of the league, Mike Canestrari, is in the house as well. Welcome, Mike. And again, thank you for providing the stats for the league. You've done an outstanding job with that. All right, time for the National Airways starting pitching matchup for today's game. For the Barrelmen, it's going to be Kirk Mouzon, who comes in with a 1-2 record and a 2.45 ERA. He's also second in the league in strikeouts with 40. On the mound for Buffalo is going to be Gus Gruver. He is 2-1 with a 2.96 ERA. All right, so we're just about ready to go here. So let's go to the game table and get this one started, as it's the Barrelmen and the Bees here for another edition of Bees Baseball right here on Imagisport. And leading off for the Barrelmen today is going to be Koji Hirota, the second baseman. Hirota batting .215 on the season with 4 RBIs. So here's Hirota with our opening pitch. It's going to be a 1-4-6. Flash Gruver does not have that, and Hirota is not a champion. So it is going to be a ground out to second, and there is one away. All right, batting second for Milwaukee is America's player, Johnny Fortune. Featured on a t-shirt a few years back. Fortune batting .238 on the season with a couple of homers and 6 RBIs. And 1-1-4 is the roll there. Fresh checks out. Grounder to short. Rockmore throws it over, and there's 2 down. Here comes Matt LaMonaco, the third batter in the lineup for Milwaukee. .250 average on the year with 3 homers and 8 runs batted in. 5-6-6 on that one. Gruver's not wild, no good eye. So it's going to be a strikeout, and 1-2-3 go Milwaukee in the top of the first. So now we head to the bottom of inning number 1 and a trip to the right now chart for the leadoff batter for Buffalo, and that is going to be Dave Wedge. Wedge is batting .323 on the season with a homer and 9 runs batted in. So both are neutral on the right now chart. 35 is the roll, so hot batter no, so it's just going to be a fly out the left, and there's one down. And here comes Lamont Clark back in the lineup after being suspended for the last game you saw here on Imagisport. Clark comes into the contest fourth on the team in batting at .317 with a couple of homers and a couple triples as well to go with 6 runs batted in. And 256 right there. Struggler, no, Mouzon doesn't have that. Champion or patient, no. So infield drama we go. And 16 on infield drama is the shortstop Gold. Fortune is neutral in the fielding category. So that is going to be a base hit. So Clark's on first, and we have our first base runner of the afternoon. And yeah, to answer your question there, Rich, I do not use the leap cards in my game. I never even bothered to print them out. I just trying to keep it simple here. So no leap cards for the series at Buffalo. Here comes Greg Rutherford up. Rutherford has been taking the league by storm as a rookie this season. .333 average. That is, and he's second in the league with doubles with 8. Fourth in the league in slugging percentage, tied with a .667. It's got 10 runs batted in. Clark on first, 1 out, 166 is the roll. Not Workman or Gilded. However, he does not get the dot for whiffer, so he is going to ground out the third, and that's going to be a double play to end the inning. So 5-4-3 there. We've played 1, no score, and we're going to the experience chart to lead off the second with Paxton Friel. Paxton Friel, the first baseman for the Barrelmen, 175 average this year, has a double, walked 4 times. Icon against Icon in the experience matchup. 25, Icon batter, yep, that's going to be a single past Rockmore, and Friel is aboard. And that's going to bring up Josh Bell. Not to be confused with the former Pirate and Washington National. Josh Bell, .293 average on the season for Milwaukee, 6 doubles, 6 RBIs, 1 home run. 3-4-5, iron catcher. Room is going to get the dot for iron there, so that's going to be a walk. And we got first and second for the Barrelmen with nobody out. And that's going to bring up Yeri Perez to the plate. Perez is only batting $129 though, with 5 runs batted in. 3-4-5 again, but this time the dot does not go the way of the Barrelmen, so it is going to be a strikeout. Much needed strikeout there, by the way. And we will go to the right now chart for our next batter, which is going to be Trey Tropiano, the Barrelmen's leading hitter so far this season. Trop's batting an even .300 with 5 runs batted in and 3 doubles. Neutral versus the semi-hot Gruver here. And it's a 25. Hot batter no, so it is going to be a line out right to Hutto at first base, and there are 2 away. So first and second with 2 down for Nick Hediger. And Hediger not too impressive at the plate either, $156 for him, but he's walked 7 times. 4 runs batted in. First and second with 2 gone. 4-4-5 is the roll. Gruver is not a workman. Hediger is not patient. So it's going to go to Hutto, and he's just going to take it himself. And the Bees end the threat here. So after 1.5, we have no score. And that's going to bring up first baseman Dylan Hutto to the plate. Hutto this season, .262 average, pretty respectable. 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in. 2-3-5 this time, and Mouzon is not wild. Hutto is eager, and he does get the dot for whiffer, however, so he's going to strike out there. So 1 away, and up comes catcher Darren Room. Room, the veteran, batting only $182, but he has a couple of homers and 7 RBIs. 2-4-4 is the roll there. Mouzon is not an ace. Champion? No, not there. Ground out the short, but there's a whiffer again. So that is strikeout number 2 for Kirk Mouzon, and there are 2 away. As Steve Tower joins us in the chat. Welcome, Steve. Thanks for joining us here on the lunch hour for some Buffalo Bees baseball. Justin Antonelli is coming up here next. He's batting .276 on the season. Homer and 4 ribbies. 2-4-4 there, not an ace and not a champion. And so again, we get the ground out the short with the thumbs up, and you know what that means with the whiffer. Mouzon strikes out the side, and we're done with 2 innings of play. No score here going into the top of inning number 3. And the catcher for the Barrelman is going to be coming up. His name is Devin Jean-Baptiste, and he's batting .211 on the season with a homer and 6 runs batted in. And here's a delivery from Gruver, 1-3-6. Gruver's not an ace, whiffer or cold. John Baptiste does have the dot for whiffer, so that's going to be a strikeout for Gruver. That's his 3rd K of the day. Back to the top of the order, and Koji Hirota. Hirota lined out his first time up. 2-2-4 is the roll there. Pitching at home, we are, so it just pops a high pop up to Rockmore for out number 2. And here comes Fortune. Fortune grounded out back in the first. 2-4-5 there. Fortune is a hero, so he's going to single to left. And that'll put him on first base with 2 down. And here comes Lamonaco. Lamonaco struck out his first time up. 2-6-6 for that one. And that's going to be a pickoff as the runner on first, that being Fortune, is thrown out. And that's going to do it for the top of inning number 3. So give me a second here to record the pickoff. A little bit of a roundabout way to do it in ball stat. So assist the pitcher, put out to catcher. And we go down to bottom of inning number 3. Okay, bottom 3 coming up for the Bees. First up, shortstop Rafael Rockmore. Rockmore is batting .175 on the season with 3 runs batted in. And 2-6-6, no runner on first. Rockmore is the leadoff batter, however, so he's going to start this inning with a single to center field. And that comes Dexter Ford. Ford still struggling at the plate. 135 for a batting average. Walked twice. 3 runs batted in. Going up against Mouzon. And it's a 1-2-2. So Mouzon is not a workman. Champ or whiffer? Well, Ford is a whiffer. That's that dreaded nubbed infield single that we all know and love, those of us that play History Maker Baseball. So that brings it up to first and second with nobody out. And that's going to bring us to our number 9 hitter, Will Shreve. Shreve struggled at the beginning at the leadoff spot, got moved to the 9 hole, and has improved a little bit. 224 average on the year with a couple of homers and 5 runs batted in. And 155 is his role. However, he is not a home run king. So that ball is just going to carry into center field for out number 1. So fly out the center. It looks like a line drive in the box score. Yep. Perhaps. All right. So back to the top of the order. Dave Wedge is up. He flied out back in the first. 4-4-5 here. Gruver not a workman. Wait a minute. Mouzon not a workman. And Wedge not patient, so it's just going to be a ground out the first. That's going to move the runners over. So we'll just say 3-1. That's going to bring us second and third with 2 gone. And Lamont Clark, who singled his first time up, but got retired on the Rutherford double play. Here's the pitch to him, 3-4-6. Clark is not eager. He is going to walk, so that's going to leave the bases loaded. Mouzon in a little bit of a jam here, but he has 2 outs. But the one batter who he would probably rather face somebody else here is up the bat now, Greg Rutherford. Although, as mentioned earlier, Rutherford did ground out into a double play. His first time up. Here's the pitch to him. 3-4-6. Eager. He gets the dot for Eager, so it's just going to be a fly out. And crisis averted there. So the Bees leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the third, and we still have no score heading into the fourth. Top of the fourth, here comes Paxton. Actually, no, that shouldn't be Paxton Friel up because Fortune got picked off. So, in reality, it is Matt LaMonaco leading things off. 2-5-6 for LaMonaco. Gruver is not a struggler. Champion or patient, neither there. So, we're going to be going here to infield drama. We'll get our things out here. 16 on infield drama is the shortstop gold, and Rockmore is semi-gold, gets the dot, so his diving stab robs the batter of a base hit. So beautiful line drive catch there for Rockmore. And there is one away, and we're going to chemistry. Yes, the good old chemistry chart. Buffalo loves that. Very much so. All right, so now it's time for Paxton Friel, who did single back in the second. Semi-dissonant, remember, for Milwaukee. Or no, semi-harmony for Milwaukee. Total dissonance for Buffalo. 56 there. Pitching team dissonance? Yep, so pitcher not confident, chooses a safe pitch, and it's ripped to outfield for a single. So Friel finds himself at first base. Second hit of the day for him. And that's going to take us to Josh Bell, who walked back in the second. Friel at first, 1 down, no score. 2-5-5. So star, Gruver is a star, and there's no good eye on Bell, so it is going to be a strikeout. And that'll make it 2 down for Yuri Perez. Perez struck out his first time up. 3-5-6. Are they the same? They are, so that's a strikeout as well. And the Bees get out of it. We played 3.5 here in Buffalo. No score. All right. Dylan Hutto is going to lead off the bottom of the 4th here. He struck out back in the 2nd. And it's going to be 1-4-6 right there. Mouzon is flash, no good eye, so strikeout number 4 for Kirk Mouzon. Here's Darren Room, also a strikeout victim. Back in the 2nd inning, 2-6-6 there. He's not the leadoff batter, so it's just going to be a lazy fly to right field and 2 away. Here's Antonelli. Also struck out. 1-4-6 there. And what do you know it? Amazingly enough, Mouzon struck out the side in the 2nd inning. Almost did it right here because Antonelli strikes out. 1-2-3. Go the Bees in the 4th. Top of the 5th we go. No score here at National Airways Stadium. Pitcher's duel for sure. And Trey Tropiano is leading things off. Lined out back in the 2nd inning. 3-3-6 is the roll. Gruver's neither ace nor dynamic. Sad sack, utility, or patient. Nope. So Tropiano gets a base hit. And we're going to go to experience for our next roll with Nick Hediger. Hediger grounded out back in the 2nd. He's a semi-prospect versus the icon Gruver. 66. Uh-oh, there's the pitch. It's driven to center field. That's a fence chart, but Hediger is a scrapper. Little bit of a saving grace there. But he did get a 5, so it is a double on the fence chart. Now, just a question here. Because the player experience roll was 6, does that mean that Tropiano would score on that? Because normally on a 6 roll, the man on first would score on the double. Well, hearing nothing, that's the way I'm going to play it. So basically, it's going to be a double. And, okay, so Steve confirms that. Yep, all right. So basically, Trop's going to come around to score, and the Barrelmen have the first run of the game. Which makes sense. Going on to the 5th. All right, so man on second, nobody out, and here comes Devin John Baptiste. Struck out in the 3rd inning. 2-2-4 there. So pitching at home, yep, that's going to be a pop out for out number 1. Back to the top of the order, and Koji Hirota 0 for 2. Popped out in the 3rd. 2-4-6 here. Control, Gruver gets the dot for that, so he grounds out. So that's going to be a fielder's choice. And so just Fielder's choice, runner in a second. So the runner's just going to hold. So basically, all right, so 1 to 3, and Hediger's going to stay at second. All right, so that's 2 down. And here comes Fortune. 1 for 2, singled back in the third. 1-1-6 there. Gruver gets the dot for fresh, so he strikes out Fortune to end the inning. But the Barrelmen get 1, and they lead 1-0, heading to the bottom of inning number 5. Here's Rafael Rockmore. He singled back in the third. 2-3-5 here. Mouzon is not wild. Rockmore is eager, though, so that is going to be a single, and Rockmore's aboard once again. Second hit for him. And here comes Dexter Ford. He singled back in the third as well. 2-5-6 there. Mouzon not a struggler. Champion or patient? No. Infield drama we go. $11 on infield drama. Is the pitcher iron? That is Mouzon. He is not. So it's going to be an easy ground out there. And actually, it's going to be a double play. So with that, let's see here. Yep, so it's going to be 1-6-3 on the double play. And so that's going to be 2 down for Will Shreve. Will it come back to haunt the Barrelmen? Well, I don't know. That remains to be seen. Have to get a little bit of luck on our side of the plate here. Maybe that'll happen with Will Shreve. Who knows? 1-3-4. So gold catcher John Baptiste is neutral, and Will Shreve is not a champion. So that takes us to outfield drama. 34 on the outfield drama chart is the left fielder iron. That is Perez. He is not, so it's an easy fly out there. And the side is retired. So after 5 here at National Airways Stadium, the Barrelmen lead it 1-0. So here comes Matt LaMonaco up. 0 for 2, lined out in the fourth. 3-6-6. He's not a pinch hitter, so that's just going to be a fly out the center for out number 1. And that's going to bring up Paxton Friel. 2 for 2 on the day. Both of those hits singles. The last one coming in the fourth. 1-3-6 is the roll here. Gruver's not an ace. Friel is a whiffer, so he's going to go down on strikes, and there's 2 gone. And that's going to bring up Josh Bell. 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. 2-4-6 there. Gruver gets the dot for control, so it's just going to be another comebacker to the mound. Easily tosses it over to Hutto for out number 3. Heading to the bottom of the 6th. 1-0. Still the score here. And Dave Wedge leads things off for Buffalo. Wedge is 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out in the third. 1-2-4 there. Mouzon has control, so it's just going to be a ground out to the shortstop Fortune for 1 out. Here comes Lamont Clark, 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. 1-3-4. Do we have a gold catcher in Baptiste? We do not. Champion? No. Back to outfield drama we go. 45 on outfield drama. Is the center fielder gold? That is Josh Bell, and he is. So it's a line out there for out number 2 and a trip to the chemistry chart. So let's see if Rutherford can overcome this chemistry chart roll coming up here. He's 0 for 2 in the day. And remember, this is dissonant going against semi-harmony. 56. Pitching team dissonance, nope. So it is going to be a strikeout. And that's going to take us to right now. And that is also going to complete 6 innings of play here with the Barrelman up 1-0. So it looks like we need to get some freshness out here on the mound. So we're not going to make the mistake we made the last game. And we're going to say goodbye to Gus Gruver there. Just taking a quick look at his line score here. Gruver, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 7 Ks. And let's see who we can bring in here. So we're at the top of the 7th. Let's see who we got. Right. Guess it really doesn't matter. Let's see. All right, so we will bring in Bobby Chang and see how that works out. So Bobby Chang on the season, 4 innings pitched, has not allowed an earned run. One walk and 3 Ks. Well, if Steve's going to sing for the stretch, he's going to have to type it in the chat. Put our new pitcher in here. All right, so Perez, Tropiano, and Hediger due up for Milwaukee in the 7th. Right now, chart is basically going to be the cold batter against the neutral pitcher Chang. And it is a 55. 55 is timeout, and batter draws a walk. So what do you know? I told you, Steve. The only places I sing are in the church pew in the shower. All right, here comes Tropiano, 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored against Chang. 3, 5, 6. They are not the same, and he is not a utility or a sad sack, so it is going to be a single down the third base line. So we got ourselves runners in the corners with nobody out. Oh, boy. So certainly this was not turning out the way that the Bees thought. So we'll have Kreider on standby in the bullpen just in case. Hediger's coming up to the plate. He doubled in the last inning. Drove in a run. 1 for 2 on the day. We'll stay back in double play depth. 1, 2, 3. Both flash and fresh. He gets the dot for that, so it's a big strikeout there for Bobby Chang. And 1 away. Here comes John Baptiste, 0 for 2. Popped out back in the 5th. 1-1-4. Just a ground out the short, and bullet dodged there And that's because of that double play, 6-4 to 3. So it remains a one-run game as we head into the 7th inning stretch. 1-0 Buffalo as we head into the stretch. And just a reminder that today's game is being brought to you by PLAAY Games, the creators of History Maker Baseball, the official game engine of the Baseball America Co-op League. Plenty of card sets available, both fictional and real life. And you want to talk about creating your own history. Well, with the plethora of fictional players that Play has to offer, from Baseball America back to the Century League and the Continental League, you can indeed create your own history. History Maker Baseball Express is available as well, quick play version of the full game. For more information or to order card sets or the game itself, go to the Play website. That's play.com, 2 A's in the word play. Yeah, my cat decided to join me, so I couldn't exactly sit down in my chair that time. So, Mouzon's still at semi-fresh mode due to pitching a shutout so far. Richard's saying that he's going to be in until someone reaches. So, leading off for the Bees is going to be Dylan Hutto. Hutto struck out twice so far. Let's see what he does this time. 2-5-5. Star Mouzon is not. Home run king. He does not get the dot for that, however. So it's just going to be caught at the wall by Yeri Perez. And it's out number 1. Some activity going on in the Milwaukee bullpen. Larry Boyle taking in some warm-up tosses. Here's Darren Room, 0 for 2, flied out back in the 4th. 1-4-4. Struck him out, but we have a Glass's result. However, Gary Wistrom, the home plate umpire, is neutral, so it is still going to be a strikeout. And that's 2 away. Your other umpires today, as assigned by the Baseball America Co-op League, Nick Mill at first, Chad Radabaugh at second, and Chris Miramonte at third. Here's Antonelli. Not a great day at the plate for him today. 2 times up, 2 strikeouts. And a 2-4-5 on this roll. Antonelli is not a hero, so it's just going to be a pop out to the second baseman. And that's going to do it for the Bees in the 7th. So as we head to the experience roll, we go to the top of inning number 8 with the score 1-0 for the Barrelman. Koji Hirota is up. Experience roll there. So decision time coming up for the Bees. And I think we're going to play it safe and go to a new pitcher, which is going to take us back to the main chart. So for Chang, an inning pitched, a walk and a strikeout there. And we don't want to put, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. So top of the 8th. We'll go with Kreider for now. So Corey Kreider Still sporting a 7.88 ERA in 8 innings pitched. Got lambasted in his first appearance, but has been pretty solid since. Here comes Hirota. 0 for 3 on the day. 2 for 4 here. Ace Mouzon is not. Ace Kreider's not because he didn't get the dot. Champion Hirota is not as well. So, ground out to the short. However, I do need to roll the decider for whiffer. Didn't get that. Doesn't matter. Still ground out. So that's one way. And up comes Fortune. 1 for 3. Struck out his last time up. First unusual result of the day, and it is going to the umpire chart. All right, so blue 1, bases empty. 25. Questionable umpire at first. The dot says yes. It's a blown call. Rules the batter safe. We'll call it an infield hit. So Fortune's on with 1 out, and up comes Lamonaco. 0 for 3 on the day. Flied out back in the 6th. 3-5-5. Struggler or gilded, no. Champion, no. It's a whiffer result, so Lamonaco strikes out for out number 2. Two down. Here comes Friel. 2 for 3, but he struck out in his last at-bat. 5-6-6. Kreider's not wild. Friel does not have the good eye. It is a strikeout. And that's going to do it. We head to the bottom of inning number 8 with the Barrelmen clinging to a 1-run lead. We've got Rockmore, Ford, and Shreve coming up for the Bees. Okay, so I'm assuming Mouzon's staying in there. Boyle can still warm up another inning if you wish. So heading to the right now chart. Okay, we're going to put Robinette up in the pen. All right, so here's Rockmore. Hot both on the scorebook and as the designated hot batter today for Buffalo. Against the neutral Mouzon. 36 here. Cold pitcher, no, he's neutral, so it's just a pop out to the catcher. John Baptiste will get under it for out number 1. Here's Dexter Ford. Lefty against lefty there. And so I think we're going to... All right. So basically, we're going to put in a pinch hitter here because we need some pop in the bat here. So Zach Julian is going to pinch hit for Dexter Ford. Julian on the season has not had a hit yet. He is 0 for 5 with 2 Ks after being drafted first overall. The card looks pretty good, but the dice have not really gone his way. Here's the pitch to Julian. It is another unusual result. Red 1, black 3. 16. Is the shortstop gold? That's Fortune. He is not. It is a single, so Julian gets on. So that's going to bring up Will Shreve. Decision time, Richard. You leaving Mouzon in, or do you want to bring in Robinette? Okay, Robinette's coming in. So we'll go ahead and make that switch in the scorebook here. So Josiah Robinette, 8 2/3 innings pitched this season, 2.08 ERA. He has 12 strikeouts. Going up against Will Shreve. Go back to our main chart here. Man on first, 1 out. Plus Robinette gets the ace boost. One, two, three. Flash and fresh. Well, yep, big strikeout there for Robinette. And there's 2 away. All right, so that's going to bring us to Dave Wedge, who's 0 for 3 today after being on a tear as of late. So decision time here. Although he is semi-iron. Now you still have a chance to get the 3rd out. Does that really help? We're going to take our chances and leave Wedge in there. Okay, Wedge against Robinette, 2 down. Bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch, 2-2-6. And he gets plunked. So men on first and second with 2 away. And here comes Lamont Clark. 1 for 2 with a walk. Against the left-hander Robinette. 3-6-6. But he's not a pinch hitter, so he's just going to fly out, and that ends the threat. So the Bees leave 2 on. They do not score, however. And we head to the top of the 9th with Milwaukee still up 1-0. And need to check our defense here, see what we want to do right now, because we did pinch hit for Ford in the last inning. Let's see. So basically, we don't want the iron fielder in there. So basically, we're going to put Seth Ranieri in center field as a defensive replacement. He'll bat in Ford's spot. Yeah, that Steve, is quite the understatement. That was a huge opportunity. For sure. All right, so Ranieri will bat in the 8 hole. So he's on. And Kreider has to go out too since he pitched in the last game. And let's see who you got. We got Bell, Perez, and Trop. Even though it is not a safe situation at this point, we're going to go with Keone Jackson to pitched the ninth. Keone Jackson on the season, no decisions, 5 saves and a 1.69 ERA, 7 strikeouts, and he does have an icon quality till further notice. Leading off for the Barrelmen in the top of the ninth is Josh Bell. 0 for 2 with a walk, 2-2-4, pitching at home again, pops out the short, 1 away. Here's Yeri Perez, 0 for 2 with a walk, reached third base back in the 7th. 2-3-5. Jackson is not wild. Perez gets the dot for Igor. Eager for the single, but he is also a whiffer, and that's going to result in a strikeout. 2 away. And here comes Tropiano, 2 for 3 on the day. Singled in the 7th, but got retired on a double play. 1, 2, 3. Flash and fresh. He does not get the dot for Flash, however, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be a ground out the short, and that's going to do it for the top of the 9th. So now we're down to crunch time. Bottom of the 9th inning here in Buffalo. Milwaukee clinging to a 1-0 lead. Robinette is at semi-fresh. Richard, what do you want to do here? And as we're waiting for Richard, there's going to be some changes, okay? As we're waiting for Richard to make those, look for Old School Wrestling coming back to Imagisport real soon. Who is Alro's next open challenger going to be? You'll have to tune in to find out. Also, what's Kwang Choi's reaction to having to wait until Livewire to get his World Heavyweight title match? And also, a couple big grudge matches coming up on our next show as well. Old School Wrestling coming soon to Imagisport. All right, so we're getting some defensive changes here. So it looks like Frankie Lopes, the former Buffalo Bee, is going to be going in for Trey Tropiano and right. So we'll get that taken care of here. All right, so, all right, and then it looks like Hector Padilla is going to be the new pitcher. All right, so let me get those in here real quick. All right, so Lopes will bat in Trop's spot. And the new pitcher is Hector Padilla. Padilla on the year, 5 innings pitched, has not allowed an earned run, 5 saves, tied for 3rd in the league. 4 strikeouts in those 5 innings. But 3-4-5 coming up for the Bees here in the bottom of the 9th. And it starts with Greg Rutherford. Rutherford has cooled off today, though, 0 for 3. Struck out back in the 6th. 1-3-3 there. Is Rutherford a slugger? He is. It's deep. It's back. It's gone. Greg Rutherford ties this game with a home run to center. Coming through there. So now we're tied. And here's Hutto. 0 for 3. Flied out in the 7th. 1, 2, 5. Struggler, no. Patient, anything but. And so basically he's going to get the dot for whiffer and strike out. 1 away. And that's going to bring up Darren Room. 0 for 3 on the day. Oh, boy. Well, you know what? My gut's telling me that we are going to pinch hit with Corey Shorter. So Shorter comes in as a pinch hitter for Room. Shorter on the season in a pinch hitting role, 3 for 7. 1 homer, 1 RBI. Going up against Padilla. 2-3-6 there. Double control or dynamic, no. So are they the same? They are not. So it's going to be a walk. For those of you not familiar with our house rule, 2-3-6, instead of using pitcher batting, we use whether they are the same hand or not. So we got the winning run at first, and here's Antonelli. Well, we'll let Antonelli bat. Against Padilla. 1 down. Tie game. 2-3-3. Ace or star. He gets the dot for star. So it's a ground out the short. It's going to be a fielder's choice. 6-4. So it's a man on first with 2 down. Antonelli at first. 2 down. Here comes the hot Rafael Rockmore. Designated hot batter. 2 for 3 on the day, but he popped out last inning. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Flash and fresh. He does not get the dot for flash. Doesn't matter. It's a ground out. And we're going to extra innings, ladies and gentlemen. So 9 innings is not enough here. We're giving you free baseball here today at National Airways Stadium, as we are now tied at 1. All right, so need to put in Shorter at catcher. And I think that's everybody. Double check. Yep, that was my only pinch hitter. All right. So, okay, so we'll leave Jackson in semi-fresh. We're not sure how long this is going to go. But Hediger, Jean-Baptiste, and Hirota due up. Hediger's 1 for 3 with a double. Struck out back in the 7th. 1-3-6. Jackson does not get the dot for ace, but Hediger's a whiffer, so that is going to be a strikeout. 1 down. Here's Devin Jean-Baptiste, 0 for 3, grounded into a double play back in the 7th. 2-3-6. No double control or dynamic. Are they the same? They are, so it's another strikeout. And there's 2 gone. Back up to the top in Koji Hirota. 0 for 4. Grounded out in the 8th. 2, 3, 6. No double control. Are they the same? They are. So again, Jackson strikes out the side, and we go to the bottom of the 10th, tied at 1. All right, I am going to have to replace Jackson next inning. All right, so Boyle up in the pen, and we'll come in to start the inning. So, all right, so just to clarify, Richard, do you want Boyle in for the first batter or not? Okay. All right, so another change here as Larry Boyle is coming in for the Barrelmen. So Larry Boyle on the season has not allowed an earned run in 5 2/3 innings, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. He has 1 win to his credit. And we have Ranieri, Shreve, and Wedge due up for Buffalo in the 10th. Okay. Let's see. So Seth Ranieri's there. He's a utility and a semi-scrapper. We'll let him bat for now. Here's Ranieri. 3, 4, 6. Ranieri eager, no, so he walks, so winning runs on base. And with that goes a trip to the chemistry chart. All right, here's Will Shreve. 0 for 3, struck out back in the 8th. Dissonance versus semi-harmony. 46. Pitching team dissonance, no. So it's infield drama this time. 34 on infield drama. Is the third baseman gold? Third baseman's Lamonaco. He is not. It is a base hit. And on the 3x base running, it's 2 bases. So the winning run is now 90 feet away. And here comes Dave Wedge. Got hit by the pitch back in the 8th. 0 for 3 otherwise. Could this be where he gets his due here? Here's the delivery to Wedge. 1-3-5, unusual result. We go to the ballpark chart. And so with Wedge, the right-handed batter, it is a normal park. .66. Small park? No. It's normal for right-handed batters. So it's just a fly out to the warning track, and there's 1 away. And we'll say fly out the left. There's Lamont Clark. 1-1-6. Boyle's fresh. That's a strikeout. 2 away. Well, it's a 6 roll. Should he have scored? I mean, I'm not sure here. Well, yeah, he's a double flash, but the result was a fresh check, not a flash check. Okay, well then, well, if you're okay with that, then hold on for a second. As long as he is not stoic. So hold on for a second. Let me undo the play first, and then let's go back and check Ranieri's running. Yeah, Ranieri's not stoic, so yep, that's going to be a sac fly, and that's going to end this game. Thanks for the clarification on that. So again, we'll say sac fly to left to end this one. All right, so that does it here at National Airways. As we go back to the main screen here. And what a nail biter that was. 2-1 was your final today. The Bees coming out on top. For the Bees, 2 runs on a hit, or 7 hits, no errors. For the Barrelmen, 1 run, 7 hit, and no errors. Both teams left 6 men on base. So basically, winner's going to be Keone Jackson. And so that's going to, I believe that's his first decision of the season. So that's going to put his record at 1-0. Boyle takes the loss. He drops to 1-1. So the Bees improve to 11-6, and Milwaukee falls to 7-10. And the Magisport player of the game, I think we're going to have to give it to Greg Rutherford with that clutch home run to tie it in the bottom of the 9th. And a good game it was indeed. So thanks everyone for tuning in live. Richard Berner, Mike Canistrari, and Steve Tower in the chat room. And thanks to anybody else who may have been watching live. And thanks to those watching later on demand. So next up for the Bees on the schedule, the Montreal Royal Blues will be the next homestand. I'm probably not going to stream next week. During the middle of the week, we're going to be going away on a little mini vacation, so I will play Game 2 of this series offline, and I'm not sure which game of Montreal I am going to be streaming as of yet. Also wanted to get some, like I said, some old school wrestling back on the table here at some point to continue storylines there, but that'll be pre-recorded. Also, my PFL football project, my spring football league with the Football America set. I'm in my championship game now, the Keystone Bowl. And I'm trying to find time where I can actually make a recording of that and play that out. But that is going to be determined. Thanks, Tim, for coming on board as well. So, again, once again from National Airways Stadium, your final score this afternoon. In 10 innings, the Bees win over the Milwaukee Barrelmen by the score of 2-1. From all of us here at Imagisport, this is Derek Jones saying thanks again for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And most of all, keep on rolling. We'll see you later.